back to Case Files, where we dive into our players. In today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver from the Chicago Bears. But first, if you want to do a huge favor for your boy by hitting that like button, and if you want to dislike this video, hit that dislike button or hurt your boy's feelings, well, maybe just a little bit. If you guys like what I do on this channel, hit that subscribe button. It will help out the empire grow. So on that note, let's continue with the episode. Now, the main question is, how will they use the speedster Darnell Mooney in their brand new offensive scheme, and what's the best position to put him in where he can do the most damage? Let's find out. But first, like always, we must always give some context before we dive into the film room. So in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, Mooney had roughly over 50 snap counts where he was targeted 7 times, caught 4 receptions for a grand total of 53 total receiving yards and 1 touchdown to boot by Justin Fields, and a 1-week loss to the Green Bay Packers. So let's see how the Chicago Bears used him. So on this play, Justin Fields is in the shotgun position, and he's actually trying to look for DJ Moore, but he's covered pretty well. So the next best option is to make some type of play happen, and then Darnell Mooney goes deep right for a grand total of 23 yards to escape and get this first down conversion, and he's in a corner route. He does a really good job beating Keyshawn Nixon, number 25, the corner, by the way, who is their special teams ace, and he does a great job just trying to get around him. And then, of course, Darnell Savage is trying to wrap him up quickly enough so he doesn't try to break away, and of course, Mooney was in the right slot position at that time. On this play, Justin Fields is in an empty backfield, and Darnell Mooney is on the right slot formation, and they're going to do a smoke screen to try to get him a first down conversion, but it quickly does not work out. Bad blocking by number 10 by Chase Claypool, where he got easily manhandled by number 25 Nixon, where Mooney lost -4 yards, and clearly Mooney couldn't do anything about it because he had nowhere to go and not enough space to try to create some separation. And unfortunately, it just happens sometimes because we can clearly see he could have had over 20 plus yards with his speed, but unfortunately it just didn't pan out. So on this play call, Darnell Mooney is going to do a basic slant route, a good one, and he's on the right slot position, but you know, it's just how much of consistency you're going to do it, and he does a fine job at that one. Nice easy separation for him to get the first down. No problem with that. And plus, having another helping hand doesn't hurt either. On this particular play, this is where a lot of Falcon fans are going to get really excited to see when Darnell Mooney's on the right slot position, where he's going to do an excellent route, making sure he does not get jammed going against number 25 Nixon for an incredible 20-yard touchdown bomb by Justin Fields, where Mooney does his first couple of steps, and then when he needs to accelerate, he hits the gas to making sure that he does not get in contact, and then he can seize the ball and have more control, and then also have more fitting room to get into the red zone perfectly. On this drive, this is a good example of where sometimes you scheme up something and it doesn't pan out at all, where the idea is to get DJ Moore and Rasul Douglas on one-on-one to making sure that Darnell Mooney is isolated, where he can get an easier time to get the first down conversion and maybe more than that. But unfortunately, Rasul Douglas had other plans where he didn't bite or follow DJ Moore, but instead he saw where Darnell Mooney was headed, so he tackled him. And also, Justin Fields threw a nice quick pass, but unfortunately Mooney didn't adjust his body quick enough where he could have caught the ball easier and then tried to escape. On this play call, this is the first time we get to see Mooney in the left side, and he's in the slot position, and the Bears are going to do a quick smoke screen to making sure that Mooney can get the first down, but unfortunately Justin Fields throws it high where Mooney is unable to catch it properly, and Ennis Guinness, the safety, absolutely demolished Mooney quickly enough where he didn't get a chance to look down the field, and the blocking wasn't a great start in the beginning either. In week 7 against the Las Vegas Raiders, where they won 30-12, Darnell Mooney had over 40 snap counts where he was targeted 5 times, caught 4 receptions for a grand total of 32 receiving yards and 0 touchdowns. Let's find out what happened. So on this play, the Bears want Darnell Mooney to do a jet sweep, and unfortunately the blocking was bad and Darnell Mooney didn't do anything, but you have to give credit where credit's due because the the Las Vegas Raiders knew what was happening. You could tell and see they adjusted properly to making sure Darnell Mooney did not get any leeway to go for big bursts of yardage. So good job on that department. On this play, Darnell Mooney is on the right outside. He's going to do an awesome dig route, and Tyson Bagent is throwing him the ball perfectly where he almost gets the first down conversion. Excellent job. On this play, Darnell Mooney is in the right slot position where he's going to do an out route where he's going against the linebacker Robert Spillane, where Spillane got a couple of interceptions in the middle of the field, but this time he's making sure that Spillane does not get near him or even get in contact with him to get this first down conversion easier. On this play, Darnell Mooney is on the left outside where he's going to do a cross route where Tyson Bagent is going to throw him the ball, but unfortunately he gets pressured way too quickly, so he just lobs it up where Mooney could have had a chance, but Bagent wasn't set up properly to throw accurately enough so Mooney could have had a chance to get the touchdown. So on this play, this shows you how athletic Darnell Mooney is, where he's going to do a slant route on the left slot position, but the quarterback throws it really high, but even still he finds a way to catch his ball and bring it down. Pretty incredible stuff. In the week 9 loss to the New Orleans Saints, Darnell Mooney roughly had over 50 snap counts where he was targeted 6 times, caught 5 receptions for a grand total of 82 receiving yards, 0 touchdowns. Let's figure out what happened. This is a great play call by the offensive coordinator by the Chicago Bears, where you're going to have an empty back set, where you're going to have 4 wide receivers and 1 tight end, where they're going to be all over the field doing all sorts of different types of route runs. And of course, Darnell Mooney is in the right slot position where he's going to do a great slant route. And the fantastic job about this is because the Saints defense are not in man-to-man coverage, but instead in cover 3, where that means there's one single safety that is heavily deep on the field. So that means this particular coverage helps out the Chicago Bears to get wide open spaces for at least 1 or 2 of the receivers to get wide open spaces to make sure they don't get contact, because Darnell Mooney absolutely destroys the linebacker Zach Bond, who had to make a split decision to who to cover, and since he made the wrong choice, Darnell Mooney had that free opportunity to get the first down conversion. Excellent job. So on this play, the Chicago Bears are going to do a play action pass, and Tyson Bagent does an excellent job getting the ball to Darnell Mooney, and look at this cut, misdirection and just get the big yard gains. Excellent job. This is what I'm excited to see. Here's another play call that the Chicago Bears are doing. They're in a bunch formation. That means they're creating space for anybody can get wide open, and look at this wide open coverage by Mooney. Excellent job until Paulson Adebo stops him. On this play, the Chicago Bears are going to do a wide receiver screen for Darnell Mooney, who's on the right slot position, and good blocking by the Chicago Bears front to allow Mooney to get wide open coverage for the first down conversion without any problems. And this kind of reminds me of what we had back in 2016 and 2017 with Turbo. So this is what I'm excited to see for the Atlanta Falcons to pull off. Darnell Mooney is on the right outside, and he's going to be doing a shallow cross routes. And by the way, cross routes are my favorite type of route runs that anybody can pull off, because they usually give you a better chance in separating against your individual matchup, because you're going to bump other players as well. So the defender has to struggle around traffic, and that usually gives you the wide receiver wide open coverage to make more yardage gains. Deadly. Here's a play that Bagent's going to throw to Darnell Mooney, where Mooney's on the left slot position where he's going to do a slant route, but unfortunately it got intercepted by the free safety Marcus May, where he just did an incredible read on the quarterback where he just read this and grabbed the pick, unfortunately. And I think Bagent threw it a little bit too high. I guess that's why this was such a little bit more pickable, but it was still a great play because it was wide open coverage. It just so happens that they also have ballers on the defensive side that they can make plays as well. For our last film breakdown video for today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at Week 15 against the Cleveland Browns loss, where it was a nail-biter 20-17, where Darnell Mooney roughly had over 60 snap counts, one of his highest of the entire season, and he was targeted 8 times, caught 2 receptions for a grand total of 14 yards, 0 touchdowns. Let's see what happened. So on this play, Darnell Mooney is in the left slot position going against Greg Newsome II, and Mooney is going to do a go route, but unfortunately Justin Fields gets pressured really quickly, and so Darnell Mooney tries to reach and almost catch this inaccurate ball, even though he's competing against Greg Newsome II, where at the final moment he pushed off Newsome to try to create some separation to help out his quarterback to try to catch the ball. I like the attempt. I think a lot of people love seeing the quarterback scramble and being off script and doing these amazing plays because sometimes they work. But then there's other times it kind of bites you in the ass where Darnell Mooney was on the left outside just doing a go route. But when he saw Justin Fields scrambling and struggling, he did a comeback route to try to help his quarterback. But unfortunately, Justin Fields almost threw a pick to Martin Everson. And this is what happens sometimes when you scramble. You lose sight of your weapons. And when your weapons are trying to help you out, then you kind of throw inaccurate throws. And this is the result that happens a lot of times. You throw interceptions, and those interceptions can turn into pick sixes. Thankfully, that didn't happen, but I blame this on the quarterback, not Darnell Mooney. And the reason why I say you throw less accurate because you're not planted, you're not firm with your foot mechanics, because when you're scrambling around, it makes it harder for everybody to adjust your speed to their speeds. That's why. This is a great play by Darnell Mooney. He's on the left outside doing a flat route, but unfortunately Justin Fields throws it over his head because this could have been an easy touchdown. So on this play, this is an easy reception for Darnell Mooney, who's on the left slot position because everybody's blitzing on his side of the field, where he doesn't have to face any contact until he catches the ball with the curl route, and then he gets tackled for major yard gainage, where sometimes you just get really lucky at these certain play calls. So on this play call, DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney are both in a dagger concept. And so Darnell Mooney is on the right slot formation. And basically what a dagger route concept is having two wide receivers going cross deep and then trying to break routes behind it. So AKA basically you're trying to get a high-low on somebody to making sure that you give the other person a chance to wide open coverage. But unfortunately, Darnell Mooney slips, and then when he slips, Justin Fields throws him the ball because this was supposed to go to Darnell Mooney, but unfortunately it just didn't pan out. But even more significant, the safety did not budge, did not go after DJ Moore, but instead was watching at Darnell Mooney, and regardless if Mooney would have caught this ball or not, the safety would have hit him. And then what was the whole point of that? Because the whole point of the dagger concept is to draw away the safeties, to making sure that Mooney had a better chance to catch it and go down the field to score a receiving touchdown where nobody's in front of him. On this play call, Darnell Mooney is going against Martin Emerson, where he has to do a quick out because there's not a lot of time left. But the good thing is he beat his man. So on this play call, Darnell Mooney is on the left outside. He's going to do a slant route. But unfortunately, Justin Fields gets pressured really quickly, so he has to throw the ball quick enough. But, the bad thing is Mooney actually had the ball for one split second. But unfortunately, the safety, Ronnie Hickman, the undrafted rookie from Ohio State, just did an incredible play of this pass deflection. And you know what? It is what it is sometimes. So on this play, Darnell Mooney is on the right slot position, and he's going to do a go route going against Martin Emerson. But unfortunately, Justin Fields gets pressured right up the front, and because of the linebacker, so he didn't have enough time to properly get set. And if you look closely enough, Mooney actually had a few extra steps in, so this could have been an incredible reception, maybe a touchdown as possible, because he beat his man in coverage. It's just unfortunately that Justin Fields couldn't capitalize on this. But I blame the offensive line for this. So in conclusion, I found out the Atlanta Falcons signed him as a slot guy because when he was with the Chicago Bears recently, he's been more in the slot position on the left and the right, equally over 260 snap counts. So when it comes to the outside, where that usually particularly be your number one or number two wide receiver, especially on the right outside, he had over less than 115. And for the left side, he had less than over 80 snap counts. Besides all that, I've been very impressed with his speed, his change of direction, his route run capabilities, even though that's kind of a weird statement to say because he's a wide receiver. And the most important thing I found out is his footing and how he angles everything properly when he's doing these routes. So when it comes to his injury history, am I a little nervous? Of course I am, because for the past 2 seasons, he's been banged up, because we all know he's very capable of having a breakout 1,000 receiving yards. We all saw him doing it back in 2021 in his second season with the Chicago Bears team, and that's with Justin Fields at the helm. But now since we got Kirk Cousins, who I think is a much better passer and a much better decision maker, this is definitely going to elevate Darnell Mooney and 10 times full. So I'm very excited what he's going to bring to the Atlanta Falcons. But this also tells you that I think the Atlanta Falcons will select a wide receiver early on in the second, third, and maybe, I don't know, people are going to get mad about this, maybe first round. But hopefully I'm not contradicting myself, but I think the Atlanta Falcons may want to try him out to be our second wide receiver 2 guy. Maybe with a brand new offensive scheme, we'll maybe elevate him as well. Who knows? We'll see to the very end. So on that note, if you guys lasted this long to the very end of the episode, thank you so much for taking your own personal time and day to watch these Falcon content videos. I like making videos for you guys. Here's more on the screen if you guys are interested in. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.